It's a summer of vampires for Jamie Foxx, as he is the lead hunter that doesn't follow the rules in Day Shift. And critically speaking, this movie, it's good enough for an end-of-summer shoot-'em-up set in Los Angeles.
It's going to be a hot one in Los Angeles.
So what's on the agenda today?
Jamie Foxx is a single dad separated from his loved one, but caring for his daughter. But they don't know that he hunts vampires, his ex or his daughter. They don't know in this Day Shift. Now, the movie is from the same producers of John Wick, and the action moves fast. It does get ridiculous pretty quickly as well, but the premise is feeble with some of the plot threads that just don't make a lot of sense. Also, this rarely happens, but there are a couple of scenes where I could actually see Jamie Foxx acting, and that is not a good thing. Co-star Dave Franco does his thing. He does a decent job, but the character's not really fully developed enough. Here's the good thing, though. Snoop Dogg basically plays a vampire fighting version of Snoop Dogg, and that was cool because that dude's always cool, right? Now, you cannot go into this film trying to make sense of it or trying to make it serious. It's vampire hunting. There's enough action to keep you invested, and if you forgive the plot mistakes and its inadequacies, I think you'll be okay with this movie. There are some very flexible vampires, so they still keep your attention with the action. Now, here's the best thing about this movie and why I say there's a good reason to watch it, and it's a mild thumbs up from me. It's on Netflix. If you already have Netflix, it doesn't cost you anything extra. Go ahead and watch it. Then watch The Power Project that Jamie Foxx did for Netflix. It's a mild thumbs up. It reminds me of that Power Project he had out in 2020, Adam. So it's not a great movie, but it doesn't cost you anything. Where are you at on Day Shift?
It's funny when you mentioned that Power Project, Project Power, whatever it is. If you hadn't mentioned that, I would have completely forgotten that that movie ever existed or that we watched it and talked about it on this very show.
We did.
And I think that that's part of the problem with these Netflix productions. They come and they go, and maybe something down the line reminds you that you saw this thing once. That's kind of, I think, where this thing is headed. I'm a mile down on it. I think there is some nice world building here. When you mention it's from the people that brought you John Wick, there's kind of a similar way that they're building out this kind of universe where there's a stock market for vampire fangs and like this, this union of vampire hunters that have all these rules. I like these ideas, and I like that they're kind of projecting some realism onto this really far-fetched and ridiculous premise. I never liked Dave Franco, and I never found the right chemistry between him and Jamie Foxx, and I really can't, in good conscience, give a recommendation to a film with like multiple pants wetting gags. You know, like one was more than enough, and then they go back and then they twist it on a third. It's just a lot of juvenile humor that I think takes away from some of the finer points. There is some really good action in this movie. The guy who made it is a former stuntman, just like the guy who made John Wick. So I see the bones of this thing. I just don't know if there's enough there. But I will say that Snoop Dogg as a vampire hunter is kind of overdue for his own series just focused on his character. Well, I would buy into that.
Well, speaking of juvenile humor, I just want to take us both back to a movie called Jerkers that we both loved, and it's all juvenile humor.
It's all in the way the juvenilia is handled,
okay, all right. I hear you.